Last year, I wrote a poem for Christmas Eve homily. I've done the same this year. The poem this year is titled simply, Joseph's Dilemma. My name is Joseph, and I'm confused. God tells me to trust, but I feel used to getting my way before, but now all that's gone out the door. It happened one night in a troubling dream that made me toss and turn. I didn't understand the scheme or what I was supposed to learn. My life is pretty much a mess. I do what I'm told, I confess, but nothing makes any sense to me. God's plan is just a mystery. I thought I had it figured out. The girl I'd marry without a doubt was the sweetest one I'd ever known. Together we would make a home. Then she got pregnant without my help and made up a story no one would believe until I realized it was God who had something up his sleeve. Mary understood it all, the purpose and the heavenly call. Her faith was always deeper than mine. I never could catch things divine. I'm a simple man with a simple faith. My tools are hammer and saw. I've never really grasped God's ways, much less theology or law. I've always tried to do what's right, never perfect, without flaw. I've given my whole life to God in humility and awe. Yet God pushes me around each day and tests my resolve by giving me a teenage bride whose problem no one can solve. I could have dumped her on the street like some other men might do, but God had something else in mind, and I didn't have a clue. Theologians may feel sorry for me and tell my sorry story. Some may even make fun of me after I've gone to glory. My only hope as I live this life is that history will be kind to those of us this time of year who are baffled by God's mind. I learned, as all husbands do, to go with the flow. How else could I know? Especially here at Christmas time, there is neither reason nor rhyme. As we entered Bethlehem, the world seemed very old. It clearly needed something new, something brash and bold. Little did I know back then, as Mary labored on, the baby she was carrying, the world was counting on. Bethlehem means house of bread. I'd learned in Hebrew class, but there was no house for us, just humble hay and grass, barely a place to lay one's head. A feeding trough became his bed. Homeless here, homeless there. Does anyone ever really care? Don't blame the keeper of the inn. He was just doing his job. His place was overflowing that night. It was like a mob, a microcosm of humanity, swirling around the birth, missing the whole point that night that God was coming to earth. Yet others seemed to understand where they came from. I don't know. That quiet stable burst with praises. Joy began to overflow. The first indication the child was special was the crowd that showed up to greet him. Angels, shepherds, wise men, everyone wanted to meet him. Even the animals were happy we were there. All creation wanted to share. It was dark that night, so we lit candlelight. The glow on every face seemed like heavenly light. Then suddenly heaven opened with angelic choirs singing. If you listen carefully, you'll hear their voices ringing, or you can go to any church on any Christmas Eve and sing some joyous songs yourself and light a candle before you leave. So what does all this mean to you on this most holy night? A word of hope in a darkened world, a world that needs some light? Or a word of nonsense from a man long ago, just an old carpenter with little to show? Or is it a word that will live on and on long after every one of us is gone? Just remember, as we live our lives, we're not the point of the story. Like Joseph, we're here to honor the one to whom we give the glory. So what's Joseph's message for you and me as we hoist our candlelight? It's a simple message that will help us see, so hear it clearly tonight. Down through the ages, people have sung. From all over the world, people have come, all because of a baby boy that a girl named Mary delivered with joy. And for now and forever, that message is just right. So, Merry Christmas to all, and to all, a good night.